Scanlan History series. In the beginning, 1920 to 1925. In 1920, speed skating was an immensely popular sport. The greatest American speed skater was Bobby McLean of Chicago. The European champion was Oscar Mathisen of Norway. They decided to hold a series of races that year to determine who was the best in the world. Racing in Chicago and at the Hippodrome at the Fairground in St. Paul, McLean won 8 of 10 races. McLean continues to win in first of title race series in Chicago. While in St. Paul, Bobby McLean met Dennis Scanlan and decided to hire him to promote and manage his skating career. Lloyd's of London insures McLean's legs for $25,000. Dennis Scanlan Sr. leaves for Norway to arrange a series of international races. Scanlan and McLean were invited to Norway by Mathisen to continue their races and determine who was the world champion speed skater. Bobby McLean prepares to set sail for Norway to begin the races. Held one day later than scheduled because Mathisen forgot to bring the contract to the ceremony on January 22nd. Dr. Scanlan is in front of the American flag, and Mathisen is inking his contract in front of the Norwegian flag. The contract established an escrow account where the prize purse was placed. McLean and manager Dr. Scanlan were guaranteed $51,000. Dr. Scanlan's skills as a promoter were used to help draw crowds to the race in Oslo and heighten the excitement. Bobby McLean meets Oscar Mathisen before the race.
At one point in time, outdoor skating was a huge thing. The great hero at the time was Oscar Mathisen, and he became Norwegian champion when he was 18 years old. In the 1900s, Frogner Stadium was widely used to organize ice skating races, and thousands stood outside and froze for hours to catch a glimpse of the ice skating king, Oscar Mathisen. The year is 1920. The capital is buzzing because arch-rival Bobby McLean is in Oslo to challenge Mathisen. At Frogner Stadium, 30,000 people turn up to watch the big duel in 10,000 meters between McLean and Mathisen. He was the best ice skater in the world, then and throughout the ages. The enthusiasm was so enormous that there has never been anything like it in a Norwegian sports arena.
Despite losing the race in a controversial finish, McLean nets $51,000, equivalent to $800,881 today, and heads home. The hype continues. Meanwhile, Dr. Scanlan had other business to attend to while he was in Scandinavia. While McLean was returning home, Dr. Scanlan learned of a business near Stockholm that intrigued him. The business was using a remarkable new kind of non-rustable steel in its products. Dr. Scanlan thought this non-rustable steel would be perfect for speed skates. The Stille Company was long established, but this was the beginning of Scanlan Surgical Instruments. Dr. started to work with this remarkable clinic, gaining a worldwide reputation for excellence in surgery and medical care, the Mayo Clinic. DRS Sr., Pops, became interested in working with them to gain the interest of Will and Charles Mayo in Scanlan Surgical Instruments.
just for Scanlan, we've been a part of that for 100 years, which is extraordinary. So, where did it all start? Well, of course, for the Scanlan family, it started with my grandfather. And it started with him making the Mayo scissors, the first operating scissors made of stainless steel, specifically for the Mayo brothers. Will and Charlie Mayo asked him to do this. And so how did they do that? I mean, they had scissors, they knew what they wanted. It had to be a general operating scissors, not specifically for any kind of surgery. It's for all surgeries. And to this day, it's the #1 operating scissors in the world. It is used for almost every surgical procedure. That's because it's very versatile and so on and so forth. So when Pops met these guys, he said, "What do you need?" He said, "Look at this rustless steel that I've come back with. What do you need done?" Well, they talked about what they needed. They needed it this long. They needed the tips sharp on one side, blunt on the other. And the other brother said, "No, I'd like it blunt on both sides. That's easier to cut suture." And so we made it both ways. And then of course, that's the story of surgical instruments anyway. Mm-hmm. We have more than 3,000 styles of surgical instruments that we make to this day.
Because of the inspiring work of Drs. William and Charles Mayo, sons of the founder Dr. William Worrell Mayo, the Mayo Clinic grew to be a world-class medical facility for surgical innovation. Scanlan was there to make their dreams a reality. Along with surgical innovations, the Mayo brothers were always looking for new ways to do things, and by training other surgeons, they could implant the scientific spirit to carry on the same endeavor. December 7, 1921, Stille Scanlan of America was established.